Jace.
How are you?
Frank Lampard.
Yep.
Talk to me. Because, Liam Toomey's a guy who's been on the show before. We get on with him. He's a good guy. Yeah. And I did not feel that was necessary today.
Well, it's amazing what pressure and bad results and bad performances can do. That's ultimately it, isn't it? Chelsea are winning, playing well. He doesn't react like that, and the articles are favourable. I don't think it ever looks good when a manager has a little dig with the press. I think it always can feel a little bit like that they are blaming them, when the fact is, and the reality is, really, it's what goes on the pitch. And at the moment, I've seen every Chelsea game. We're struggling. We are struggling for consistent performances. We're struggling for a consistent team. Clean sheets were something that looked like we'd nailed down with Mendy at the back and Thiago Silva and Chilwell. Chelsea defended well, really well. And it's, as so often can happen at my club, we've fallen off the edge of a cliff. And Frank he's got 3 home games. Luton on Sunday. He's there midweek. He's got Wolves and then Burnley. 3 games that he should be winning. But looking what Burnley did last night, and looking that Wolves are looking to get some results, these are not going to be easy games. And Frank has got to pick up 3 wins out of 3.
And look, I was one of those people who was naysaying Frank Lampard in the summer. I'm not suggesting that these guys like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like Frank Lampard, should be coming in and hitting the ground running and be perfect from day one. But I hadn't seen, towards the end of last season, any tactical development, any kind of progress within the squad that made me think that he was the guy to necessarily take £250 million, spend it, ingratiate these guys in and find the right way to make them work. And then they went on that unbeaten run, and I felt like an absolute mug. I'm not saying I feel smug right now, but I'm just saying that which version, is Lampard the manager from the first 13 games of this season, or is he the guy that's overseen what we've seen
first off, last season, I have to say I think he overachieved. He lost Eden Hazard, couldn't replace him, although we did have players that come in. But largely, it was a squad that had to be used from the one before, and there was no investment. So I think Frank came in, he had his eyes wide open, he knew that. And the expectancy levels were very different to what they are now. He bled a number of youngsters. I think he's given 10 players their debuts at Chelsea, there or thereabouts. So the club has moved forward in terms of a vision.
So did he burn his fingers by almost performing too well early on? Because there was a point early in the season where you looked like possible title contenders, and then the form around December just started to drop off. And to be honest, it's because of the chasing pack not chasing that they finished top 4 last year. And then that just bled into... Look, I thought that was just going to bleed into this season. They start off hot again. It falls off again.
It's amazing because it's only been 6 weeks. It's not like it's been 6 months. And because there are so many games in that period, it can happen like that. We've seen Liverpool drop like a stone. We've seen Man United rise like a phoenix from the ashes. It wasn't that long ago that Ollie was the number 1 manager with the bookies to get the sack.
Oh, after they went out of the Champions League,
it wasn't that long ago that
Arteta,
Arsenal fans phoning up here, wanting Arteta out. And things can change quickly. Things can change really quickly. But what alarmed me was when we spoke to Simon Johnson the other night from The Athletic. And Simon, and I think we're speaking to him later on, it made all sorts of waves.
Sorry, let me just check my notes that I only got handed about 3 minutes before we came on air. I can confirm that he might be on the show later.
He might be on the show. But when he came on, he said that it's a question of when, not if. And Frank would have heard that. We all heard it. I was here, but Chelsea fans heard it. On Twitter, it was... I mean, Simon will tell you. It literally... I think it was even trending at one stage. That's how big it was. And it comes with the pressure. We played poorly against Leicester. Leicester are a good side. I don't think Leicester got out of third gear. And the results ain't good, performances aren't good, and therefore you're not going to get a happy manager.